Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you're joining from. We'll give a minute for people to enter. So go grab your coffee, tea, water, and we'll get started in just a bit. All right. So again, hello, everyone, and welcome to our Q2 Product Pulse webinar. You'll be hearing from three Cloud Linux speakers today: Igor Selitsky, our CEO; Sergey Gruntovsky, Immunify's Chief Architect; and Vladimir Markovich, Immunify's Product Manager. A couple of housekeeping items before we dive in. The webinar is being recorded, and we'll share the link to the video in the follow-up email. And during the webinar, if you have any questions about the product or feature that's being discussed, please use the Q&A functionality of Zoom to type in your question, and there will be a dedicated section at the end where we'll answer these questions. On today's webinar, we'll start with going through the product updates in Cloud Linux, then look at what's new and what's upcoming in Immunify, and finally close things off with our current offers and events, and then the dedicated Q&A section, as I mentioned. And now, to kick things off, I'll hand the mic over to Igor Selitsky. So Igor, please take it away.
Hello everyone. We can kind of move to the next slide right away. So we did quite a few things in the past quarter, year, etc. So we have a new version of Cloud Linux. We support C Group version 2 now, which for most of you, you will not see the difference. And we delivered Elevate from Cloud Linux 8 to 9 with 10 coming up as well. One important thing I have to say that, and it's not on the slides, is that we are going to focus significantly more on security for the next month or so. And part of it is due to what is happening with LLMs, with announcement from Anthropic. So I think the next month, what we're doing, we're trying to detect all possible vulnerabilities in our software using latest LLMs and close them as soon as possible, because we expect a large number of security exploits coming in as next generation models become available to everyone. So let's continue to the next slide. So this security might or might not affect the delivery of those things. We are seeing a lot of acceleration due to LLMs in the way we develop. So we scheduled it for Q2. We were expecting it to deliver it in Q2, but if not Q2, it should be done by the end of July. So we will have Ubuntu and Debian support for Cloud Linux, meaning if you're running latest Ubuntu or latest Debian, you will be able to install Cloud Linux on top of that. We're switching from Redis to Valkey. Valkey is a fork of Redis. It was created by community when Redis changed their license. The beautiful thing about this fork is that it's much faster and much more efficient than the original Redis. So you can see, you can get some performance benefits. More exactly, your customers will see some performance benefits. Let's continue to the next slide. Max Cache. So we released Max Cache, and we're extremely proud of that. We have close to 10,000 sites already on that. People love it. It significantly improves the performance of WordPress websites when they're running Accelerate WordPress. So you can see 3 times increase in requests per second, 3 times increase in time to first byte, significant improvement in CPU and memory usage. The way it works, it's basically move some of the code that page caching does in PHP to directly into C, into Apache module, generating very good performance improvements. Now, we don't want to push you to accelerate WordPress. So right now we are working with different page caching vendors. So we expect within the next 3 to 6 months, as your customers will upgrade their page caching to the latest version, whatever their vendor is, they will realize the benefit of max cache, because those two needs to work together, and we're going from to paging to caching vendors to make sure that they do. Let's continue. Accelerate WordPress. So because we did this max cache, we see another reason to start focusing more on accelerate WordPress. So you can expect significant improvements there as well, continuing to improve speed and performance of WordPress installations. Let's continue to the next slide. And isolates is another thing that is already available. So the idea is that Cloud Linux is known for ability to limit file system and CPU and memory around single user. And we were often asked to bring it to the level of website. So now your customers can do the same on the website level. They can have each website in its own KGFS. They can have separate PHP selector for each website. They can do LV limits on each website. And where it's useful is when a single user has 2, 3, 5 websites and they want to make sure that there is no lateral movements if one of them get hacked, or they want to make sure that if one website is overloaded, the rest still have resources. So now they'll be able to do that. One interesting thing about Isolate that we released it at the same time for cPanel, Plesk, and Direct Admin, and that's also the benefit of LLMs. We're able to deliver much more at the same time now, and you should expect it going forward that most of our releases will cover all the control panels, not just cPanel at the start. Let's continue. Burstable limits, something that we promised for a long time, is also upcoming. So we want to allow CPU and I/O to be bursting when the server has resources. It's actually not a trivial problem because we need to make sure that customer can only burst when there is resources on the server, otherwise the whole server would be overloaded. And we need to make sure that we quickly stop the customers bursting if there is not enough resources now on the server. So we had to deal with two of those things, but I believe we have it solved, so you can expect burstable limits this year. Let's continue to the next slide. And that's another thing that we're working on. We want to bring an AI agent that would be able to help web hosting customer or digital agency to do tasks with their WordPress, automate majority of WordPress maintenance, and do it the way humans would do. LLMs are getting smarter and smarter, so it's possible now, and that's where we're going.
And
All
that's the
right.
end of the Cloud Linux updates. So with that, the mic is now going over to Sergey to start the Immunify section.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, starting off with a bang right away. Our web application firewall for WordPress. It's not exactly new. It's been running in production since right before CloudFest on a ton of websites. And Yeah, powered by threat intel from all of the Unify fleet, from over 60 million websites and multiple security layers that we have. It removes the need for any dedicated or like standalone plugins like PatchStack. and it uses virtual patching to close vulnerabilities in WordPress plugins and themes. The slide mentions 24-hour response time. In reality, it's based on the actual exploitation that's happening. So if something is being exploited in the wild before it's even published, we patch it. The false positive rate is extremely low, partially because of the huge fleet that gives us a lot of intel early on, and partially because of the way it's implemented. So the rules are only executed if the website is actually vulnerable to the attack. So if a website doesn't have an outdated plugin with this vulnerability, the rule doesn't fire, it doesn't get any false positives. Yeah, we can go to the next one. So this one, a highly requested feature. I think almost every hosting provider we talk to is deeply interested in AI bot management right now. So what we are seeing is bot traffic dominates web traffic right now. But a big issue is that not all bots are created equal, and website owners actually want to maintain web presence with AI crawlers who are creating huge load, often doing very heavy requests like going to web shops and browsing products with heavy filters, but sending a ton of requests like that, killing the database. So aside from tuning our existing protection layers, we are also tackling this issue from two different fronts. The first one is our Unified Security WordPress plugin. We're adding bot management there, where we would rate limit, classify the bots, and let you control what gets access to the website at what rate, so that the website doesn't die under load. Another path that we are taking at the same time is a management layer at the web server level. This one would cover not just WordPress, but any type of website, but it will take a bit longer for us to deliver. Meanwhile, the Unified Security WordPress plugin will be released really quickly, in a matter of weeks. Okay, next slide. Speaking of the Unified Security WordPress plugin, the plugin itself is not new at all at this point. It's been running on 500,000 websites for a long time, and installation is growing. Right now, the slide shows 670, but yesterday when I checked, it was 680. The number is changing every day. The slide always gets outdated. The plugin itself provides visibility to Immunify protection that you provide the website owner. It shows the malware that's detected and cleaned. It shows the attacks that are being stopped. And it includes the features that I just mentioned. So the web application firewall is running by default, enabled on all these websites. And the bot protection you'll be able to control if you want to enable that. And eventually it will probably get enabled by default as well. All right. One more thing on this one. The plugin itself is installed automatically. All you need to do is toggle it per server, and we provision it to every website. We take care of the updates. We haven't had any issues so far with that across all these installations. So you just need to enable it per server, and that's it. If a website owner decides to remove the plugin, we respect their decision and we keep it off their website. We don't push it back, although we had a few customers who expressed the desire to push it forcefully, even if website owner doesn't want it. Even if the website owner removes it through the WordPress admin, they want separate control. So we might add that as well in the future. All right, next one. So these are a few things that are in active development right now, sort of a sneak peek into other things we're working on. So first, we are seeing a huge growth in Node.js installations, Node.js deployments. And Imify already protects Node.js pretty well. We are able to detect malware in JavaScript files. We're able to deobfuscate them, emulate JavaScript. We're able to find binaries that are often shipped within NPM packages and hiding in Node modules. What we want to add right now is runtime level protection. So as malicious code is being executed in Node.js, we want to be able to track it, log it, detect it, stop it. So this is what we are working on right now. We already have sort of MVP internally, but we need to polish it and ship it. Another thing we have in the works right now is proactive defense for databases. Similarly, Imify already able to detect malware in databases, they're able to clean up malware in databases, but we are seeing a huge increase in just frequency of infections like that. So we want to tackle them in PHP level with our proactive defense to intercept and block malicious SQL operations at runtime to prevent the infection from happening in the first place. This would reduce the window through which the infection is present in the database, which should be helpful. All right. And the next slide, I think I'll give the mic to Vladimir.
Yeah, thank you, Sergey. So Iminify portal is our tool for centralized monitoring that we intended for the hosting administrator to have a bird eye overview across entire fleet, all the Iminify installation, and also provide the quick way for the support personnel to dive into triage security-related escalation from the customers. We plan on delivering this to a private beta early May. So if you want to be a part of this, you can use this link and wish list it. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so Iminify email. And what is new about Iminify email? Now we have incoming filtering out of beta. So for those who already have outbound filtering, incoming filtering will comes with no cost. It will be a part of the wall package. You just need to enable incoming filtering, and that is it. It is out now. Let's move to the next slide. Iminify Email Gateway is a new product. It is the SMTP relay that sends all the hosting company traffic to our cloud, and we do the filtering. We take care about delivery, IP reputation, everything on our end. So you don't need to do anything, just configure your server to relay traffic. And this is it. We plan to deliver this thing mid-May, I think, as a private beta, and in a month or so to the open beta. So if you're interested, again, just use a link and wishlist it. And let's move to the next slide, please. Iminify for container clusters. This thing we delivered last year for our two largest partner and for their WordPress and WooCommerce platforms, managed WordPress and WooCommerce. We already delivered three modules, three main modules like proactive defense, malware scanning, real-time malware scan, and plan on delivering two other modules this quarter. If you're interested in the Iminify for containers, you can contact our sales team and we will do it case by case, onboard you on these as well. Next slide, I guess, will be Igor again, right?
Thank you. That's probably one of the last things we are gonna present today, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so we're very excited about what's happening in AI world, as you might have noticed. And one of the things we are releasing is Immunify for AI agents. So today we support OpenClaw, we will support other agents as well. And the idea is that no matter how hardened your OpenClaw environment is, um, there is going to be way to poison the prompt or supply chain attack. And when this attack happens, it will get all your keys, all your private information, all the critical things. So we built Immunify for AI in a way that we can block those things at OS level. We will detect when an agent goes and touches some file that has private information, that has keys, and we detect when it connects to something that it shouldn't connect, and we intercept such requests, block them, and allow the end user to decide if it can continue, if it cannot continue. So this creates a very strong layer of securing AI agents. We're partnering with VPS providers who are providing OpenClaw VPS. If you are one of them, please talk to us. We are looking for partners right now. And that's it about Immunify for AI.
Thank you, Igor. And thank you, Vlad and Sergey, for the product updates. Next up is our special offer that we want all of our customers to know about. And it's our CloudLinux VPS bundle, which is an exclusive partner-only offering for hosting providers. It combines CloudLinux and Immunify 360 in pre-installed bundles, and they come with up to 55% license savings compared to buying the two products separately. So you can deliver faster, more secure VPS plans to your customers, while at the same time also improve your margins. It gives the same management experience that you already have and used to on shared hosting, which is another big plus when you think about it from a maintenance and support perspective. So if you have VPS offerings, make sure to check out the details at cloudlinux.com/VPS/bundle. Or if you want to straight up get started with it and dive in, contact our team at sales@cloudlinux.com. And speaking of contacting our team, the next event where you can meet us live will be WordCamp Europe in June in Krakow, Poland. So if you're attending and want to meet with us, please schedule a meeting through our sales team on the email address sales@cloudlinux.com. And that's everything we planned for today as far as slides are concerned. So now before we move to the Q&A, I want to run a quick poll and get some feedback on what we have shared. So I'll launch the poll. It should come up as a pop-up window on your screens. And the question is, which of the following new products and features we covered today are most relevant to your business plans for the next 6 to 12 months? And you can select multiple of the answer options, whatever is interesting to your business. So Cloud Linux on Ubuntu and Debian, Max Cache, isolates for website level isolation, burstable limits in Cloud Linux, Autopilot WP for AI-based WordPress management, Immunify's new web application firewall for WordPress, AI bot protection or bot management rather, Immunify Portal for the centralized monitoring of your entire fleet, Immunify for Node.js, Immunify Email or the email gateway product, Immunify 360 for container clusters, and the last option is Immunify for AI agents. So make your selections. I'll give it a few more seconds. Okay. The answers are now slowing down, so I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you all for your answers. And with that, we can move to the Q&A. And I see that we already have some questions lined up. So the first one is, what's the timeline for Maxcache release to other platforms and cPanel? For example, both Plesk and to implement our custom-made panels.
So I believe it should be ready by the end of this quarter.
Thank you. Next one is when comparing Lightspeed cache and CloudLinux Max Cache in Accelerator WP, can they be used together on the same server or per site? If not, what are the trade-offs between them, and in which scenarios would you recommend one over the other for optimal performance?
So let's separate. So there is Lightspeed web server, there is Lightspeed cache, and you can use Lightspeed cache without Lightspeed web server. So you cannot use Max Cache on Lightspeed web server. You can only use it on Apache or Nginx web server. It's a module for web server. It's not a module per se for WordPress. Lightspeed has a similar module built into it, and when you pair Lightspeed web server with Lightspeed cache, you get this very good performance. What we delivered is similar performance with Apache web server or Nginx. Now, can you use Apache web server with Max Cache with Lightspeed cache? Yes, you can. But, and here's the but. So if you use Lightspeed cache today with Apache, it basically doesn't improve performance at all. It doesn't do much. I don't know if it's by design or how, but it just doesn't improve performance unless you buy CDN from Lightspeed. Anyway, yet the Lightspeed cache itself is open sourced. We submitted, or we're planning to submit, the changes to Lightspeed cache so that it would recognize Max cache. And if their team accepts those changes, then yes. When you use Max cache with Lightspeed cache on Apache web server, it's such a word salad. When you use this combination, you will get the benefit. Today you can use them together. It will not give the benefit because Lightspeed cache doesn't recognize Max cache.
Thank you. Next one is also about Max Cache. Can this be used without WordPress caching plugins? Is it intended to run standalone without WordPress caching plugins?
No, it cannot. Well, it will give you no benefit if you run it without caching plugin. So it just actually, you know what? I'll take it back. It does. It does. One of the things that Max Cache does that I forgot to mention is that it is caching .htaccess files. It precompiles and caches them, and you will get some performance improvement. It's not as major. It's not 3 times. It's like 30% performance improvement that you'll get, but you do get the benefit on any server right out of the box by installing Max Cache because your Apache web server will not be hitting .htaccess, loading it and parsing it and compiling it on each page request. So you are getting a benefit from Max Cache even without caching plugins.
Thank you. The next one is about the QR code for Immunify portal. So I'm just going to go back to that slide and you can grab it. I'll leave it on this page so anyone who wants to grab that QR code now has a bit more time. And moving on to the next one, it's actually multiple questions lined up. So we do privacy, cannot install Immunify plugin for website server-wide. So I hope the gist of the security and patch stack and stuff will be more within server level and not required a plugin. Does it work like that?
So we are shipping multiple layers by design in Immunify, and plugin just adds another one that is really beneficial for WordPress specifically. It gives more tooling to intelligently block requests compared to something running purely on web server level, for example. So plugin is important here, but if the issue is enabling it server-wide, we can explore options to enable it per website without switching entire servers. But the main feature is in the plugin here.
Thank you. The second question is about KGFS isolation per user, so isolate. I seen it limit to 1,000. 1,000 isn't much accounts on an average when the average is around 250 to 400 hosting accounts. Is the pricing for 10 more per $10 a year? Because then as a hoster, I guess I won't want to offer it as it can be an unstable expense. So this is about the pricing of isolates here. Can you please go through that, how that works?
Yes, so depending on your CloudLinux license, if you are buying Solo Admin Shared Pro, you get some isolates for free. One of the reasons we are limiting that because we don't want the licensing to be gamed. We don't want you to sit on a cheap license and just, instead of adding users, adding domains, making wrappers around it. This is one of the reasons. I think it is a generous like 1000 isolates, so you have 400 hosting accounts. Typical hosting account based on our numbers internal is about 1.6 domains, so you're talking about 700-800 domains at most. So that CloudLinux Shared Pro license would totally cover majority of your web servers with no extra fees. But we do want to kind of make it so that each additional would cost about $1 a month, which makes it 8 cents, 8.5 cents per website per month. I find it low, so like one site is 10 cents per month or less. But I can see why some hosts might want to start charging for it. For example, give one or two away for free, and the third one would be extra. Yes, we can see such things happening.
Thank you. And then the third part of this question is for bot management for WordPress. And the question here is that I hope it will also have an option within cPanel user and not as a plugin. So can you please go through
This
that
one,
again?
yes, definitely. Like I mentioned, we are working on two tracks at the same time right now. The WordPress specific solution will be just delivered faster because it is much easier to ship changes at this level. But we will have a web server level AI bot management as well. It will be just not in a few weeks, but this quarter, something like this.
Thank you. Next one is also about, the next one is about WAF or WordPress. Let's jump there. So is the WordPress application firewall plugin mandatory for installation? Alternatively, will Immunify 360, when installed on the server, perform virtual patching? And additionally, the second part of the question, what are the limitations of virtual patching if the plugin is not enabled?
I can take this
The
one.
plugin.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not mandatory. You can opt out you can adjust the default installation policy for the new users. So you full in control here. Eminify 360 has a virtual patching itself, but as the answering the last question here, the difference is not as efficient for addressing WordPress type of attacks as the specific WordPress plugin.
The main focus for us is production and depth. So we want to layer multiple security layers. We have proactive defense that is capable of detecting 0 days in WordPress as well, in WordPress plugins and stopping them. It detects already published vulnerabilities too and picks them up as well. And we have web server level firewall as well, application firewall with Mod Security and Coraza. This is just another layer that improves protection even more. So each layer, naturally, some attacks can pass through it. But when you layer multiple of them, you get much better result.
Thank you. And following up on that, this is still on WAF. What happens with websites that have WordFence installed? Will it cause issues if both are installed? Will it skip any sites with WordFence installed? Is this for the auto install on all sites on the server?
There are no conflicts. They can be both installed and both will be working. Some of the WordFence features, like I think they have login rate limiting, would still work, and our plugin would be patching vulnerabilities as well.
Thank you. The next one is about CloudLinux. So does the CloudLinux for Debian and Ubuntu release also fall under the bundled VPS pricing? Do we
Yes.
have bundles for them?
Yes, it will be.
Okay. Next one is about Node.js. So regards improving Node.js for all those Vibe-coded clients, I was wondering how it works in server migration, for example, old system to new one, like from direct admin or cPanel live transfer. Will Cloud Linux create all those apps, or all website with those will crash? Compatibility is really important for server migrations.
I mean, we are not involved in designing migrations from one control panel to another, or even within control panel, so we don't know.
And then the next part of that, any plan to integrate max cache with Lightspeed? I knew in the past there was something like Lightspeed plus Varnish.
No, I think that so there is no plans, mostly because we believe that Lightspeed web server with a Lightspeed cache is already top performing solution. So you don't need max cache if you already have a Lightspeed web server with Lightspeed cache.
Thank you. Next question is back to WAF again. Will there be any support for Lightspeed web server anytime soon?
It's already supported. So for web application firewall at the web server level, we have Mod Security installed there, and we ship our rule sets that are constantly updated. And as for web application firewall for WordPress, this one works at the WordPress plugin level, so it doesn't care about the web server at all. It can work under any web server and deliver the same value.
Thank you. And next one is suggestion regarding the plugin. Maybe add an option within Immunify 360 in the user interface in cPanel level to enable the plugin. If the user wants it, they can enable it by themselves, or either maybe add it to WordPress.org so they can directly download it from the WordPress repo.
Can I answer to this one? So we thought about that. We just don't see the point. We have people enabling it across their servers. It's really improving security of the system. So for now, we're not focusing on that. If you don't want to add it, don't add it. But so far, we we have close to what 700,000 installations already. It's up to you.
Okay, thank you. And then the next one is back on the isolates question earlier. So you plan to do something complex like we set up limit for plan X with up to 1 or 2 isolates, and the rest share the same file system at the user level, and then they can promote and sell for more within cPanel and increase the limit as the customer buys.
Well, it's I wouldn't call it complex. It's the same as anything else. You set limits for disk space. You can set limits for mailbox. I know no one does it anymore, but you can set limits for number of domains customer have. So you can set limits for the number of isolates as well.
Thank you. And let me quickly go through. Yes, I think we've covered everything. Any other question? The floor is still open. We'll give it a few more seconds. All right. So with that, I think it's a wrap. So thank you all for joining today and for your time. Have a good rest of the day, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.